What is up, everyone? Welcome to the Japanese Grand Prix deadline live stream on F1 Fantasy Pole Position. I hope you are all having a great Saturday morning, Saturday night, Friday night, Saturday afternoon, all that fun stuff. Wherever you are in the world, get in the chat because for the next hour, we are going to be talking F1 Fantasy, all your lineup decisions, all my lineup decisions, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I've been awake for a little bit. F1FantasyTools.com just posted their handy dandy FP3 sims. So we're going to go over that. We're going to go over my team selection, best budget builders, all that fun stuff. But shall we get some messages going? I see some of you have already been in the chat. Nick C says, do you prefer Williams, Haas, or V-Carb? Points, Williams, budget, Haas, best of both worlds, V-Carb. Nick C would be my ranking there. P1 says, hello from San Diego. I got McLaren, Haas, and Piastri, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Albon. Do I switch out Albon for Behrman and leave 8.4 million in the bank, or is that too many eggs in the Haas basket? Damn, that was a lot of money left in the bank there. I think, as long as it's not for a hit, I think that's a fine move, P1. Nixie says, my wildcard team is Piastri, Stroll, Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg from China, or Hulkenberg, McLaren, Williams from China. What transfers would you make? Maybe just Williams to one of Haas or Racing Bulls, Nixie. That's what I would go with, probably. I don't think you really need to make too many changes there. So that's where I go. Brandon, no negative as there's a high chance of rain. Let's go check that out, Brandon. So right now, tomorrow at the race, 40% chance, or the race is kind of like in between here, 4 p.m. So 10% chance of rain at 4 o'clock, 40% chance of rain at 2 o'clock tomorrow. I don't hate playing no negative, but I don't know if this is the right weekend. I think there will be some DNFs, so we'll just be playing DNF roulette a little bit. But yeah, I think I'm going to keep it in the back pocket for this week. But if you are feeling pretty strong about it, go for it. Adolfo says, hi, hey, what is up? Anti-Hypothesis says, Limitless or still save it for a sprint weekend? I would still save it for sprint weekend. Miami is the most likely spot that we'll get to play it in, so not too bad there. 1 p.m. from Malaysia. What's the best wildcard team? Depends on your budget, Avencry. So if you let me know your budget, we can work through that together. MacTech says, good day, Ewan. Also saying, even though Haas is an obvious constructor to have, is V-Carb a secondary choice to have because they are -3 and seem they will score more points? Yeah, yesterday, after FP2, I posted something about do this one for a -10, this one for 2 free transfers or whatever, and I left Racing Bulls off of there. And I probably shouldn't have done that because they look pretty good, and we can go check that out here over on F1 Fantasy Tools, which if you want to sign up for their premium product, you can use promo code UN50 and you'll get 50% off your first month, and we are entering a triple header, so that might be handy dandy for those of y'all that are as serious as watching a content creator on YouTube for your F1 Fantasy lineup. So yeah, highly recommend their website. They just put out some FP3 sims that are on this side of the screen over there that they're kind of scrolling through. So let's look here. We got Norris, Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton, Tsunoda, Antonelli, Gasly, all the way down. And then we go to the constructors here. McLaren, I'll try to keep saying this, but I think double McLaren is pretty much a must-have this weekend. I don't love using the term must-have, but that's as close to must-have as they come here because, yeah, Piastri, Norris, and the constructor just look a little bit of a cut above the rest of them there. But yeah, over here we got Williams and we got VCarb and then Haas all the way down here. But the main thing, if you're going for a budget building lineup for those teams, is looking at this stuff over here. So Haas has a 99% chance of rising, VCarb 92%, Williams a 74% chance. For my F1 fantasy lineup, I am not going to take a hit this week. I am going to keep with Williams. I'm going to take the 74% chance, ride them for one more week at least, try and get that 0.6 increase. I know that Haas and VCarb are going to be almost guaranteed to get that price rise. I think Haas would need like a double DNF to avoid it. So that is something there. Justinus says there is like 100% chance of rain. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that there will be some rain, but it just depends on like where it is, when it comes. Like the weather is quite temperamental in Suzuka, so we can kind of get through. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think there's enough evidence yet for me to say. I mean, they weren't really mentioning it in the commentary all that much on FP1, FP2. I will put my hands up and said I did not wake up at 4:30 to watch FP3. So I'm just kind of going through the results, which we could go through over here. So Norris from Piastri, from Russell, from Leclerc, Verstappen, Hamilton, Albon's up there, Sainz is up there. So that's why I feel okay with Williams, guys. I think they're going to be fine. We can go over here as well to their race simulation. They're here at like the 6th fastest team, as you can see right here. And they're qualifying as the 7th fastest team. So even if they both get knocked out in Q2, not the end of the world. They should make up the pace through the field for sure. This is all based on FP1 and the very limited FP2 data that we had running from yesterday. So you got to take that with a pinch of salt. Fraser says, good day, sir. Justina says, if you check AccuWeather. Okay. Colin says, hi. Guten Tag, Colin, because I believe you're German, where I am living. Matthew says, hello from Dallas. What is up? I have two of my very best friends are living in Dallas right now. I currently have Piastri, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Stroll, Behrman, McLaren, Williams. I'm planning on Williams to Haas and leaves me with a free transfer and a lot in the bank. Should I swap Piastri to Lando or keep a transfer? So, Matthew, if you give me a second here, let me pull up my Twitter, because I was kind of going through this similar exercise yesterday. And let's see here. Where are we? Here we are. So let me drag this over to here. So this is what I was looking at yesterday, Matthew. I was like, okay, so I may have done some terrible loosey-goosey math here for F1 Fantasy, so I apologize. It's way off. But essentially, by choosing the Piastri-Behrman path over the Norris-Behrman-Haas path, I'm saving myself 10 points this week and 10 points next week. So we go here. This is kind of what I came up with, right? Like, so this is my team right now. Piastri, or this would be my team this week if I go with this. Piastri, Behrman, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Ocon, McLaren, Williams. 98.8 total. If they all rise, if they all get the maximum of rise, this is what they'll come up with. 102.4 million. Next week is what they will cost. And then I can bring in Hadjar, Bortoleto, and Mercedes next week. Take a 10-point hit there. And then I've got a top, one of the two best assets on the driver's side in F1 Fantasy, and then probably what we would be saying as the two best constructors as of right now in F1 Fantasy with McLaren and Mercedes. It's just assuming that everyone rises, blah, 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 at the same rate. And Hadjar and Bortoleto fall because they're going to fall this week as well. Down here, though, is the other team I could go with, which would be the Norris, Behrman, Haas route. If they all rise, same amount of budget rising kind of thing. But then I wouldn't have enough money to then get to the Mercedes build that I would possibly want for Bahrain, Saudi Arabia, Miami, that sort of stuff. So getting those assets in place would cost me 2 free transfers because I'm already... So essentially this top team, I'm not taking a hit this week. I'm taking a hit next week. And then, but the bottom team here, the team one, I'm supposed to say team two, but the bottom team here is I'm taking a 10-point hit this week, and then another 20-point hit this week, just for a little bit more percentage chance that Haas rise than Williams. I mean, Haas are going to rise 0.6. Williams has a little bit of a sketchier shot there, especially with Albon's DNF record. So that's where I'm at. So that's kind of the answer to your question there, Matthew. Hopefully that helped. If it did, shoot me a like, because there's 86 people watching. There's 11 likes. So give me a 25% hit rate on the like button there, guys. That would be super duper. That's me locked into Limitless. Very happy with my decision. Fraser, do you want to drop that lineup in there? Because I know you're talking on the Q&A stream on Wednesday. How does my T1 team look? My T1 team is this right now, FPL YOLO, but in a couple of clicks time, it will be, it's going to stay Williams, sorry. It's going to stay Williams. It's going to be Piastri and Albon out, or Antonelli and Albon out for Piastri and Behrman. Leaves me 2.6 million in the bank. And that is going to be it. You know what, guys? Let's just lock this in right now. I'm not going to take a -10. I even did this last night. Where was I? Dear future me, you're waking up in 7 hours to make your F1 fantasy transfers. Don't get rattled by FP3 results. Antonelli to Piastri, Albon to Behrman. Thanks, present me. So we're going to follow through on that, guys. We're just going to lock this team in here real quick. Going to give Piastri the 2x. I don't think I've ever locked a team in this early. It's a little nerve-wracking. Maybe I'll just wait like 5 more minutes. I don't know if I can do it. Get some more questions in here. McLaren, Haas, Piastri, Russell, Ocon, Behrman, Hadjar, wildcard team. Very nice. Hadjar, I guess you're going to take a 0.6 hit this week, but he should start to rise again. So as long as you haven't had him before, I don't really mind it all that much. Haas or Racing Bulls, asked Stanley. Haas for budget building, Racing Bulls also for budget building, but they're going to score more points. So I guess I'd go Racing Bulls. Yeah, and they're cheaper. So I think they're going to score more points, 17.1 to 11.2 per F1 Fantasy Tools. And they have just as high of a chance. Yeah, I mean, it's just DNF roulette at this point, Stanley. But yeah, I think Racing Bulls has showed us enough that we should be good to go there. Oh my goodness, you guys are blowing this thing up. I have to catch up. Good morning, Ewan, says Glenn. Hey, what's up, Glenn? With Ferrari looking so strong, I couldn't resist. This might be the biggest opportunity ever. Yeah, don't mind it, Fraser. Austin, hi, Ewan. Thoughts on Norris, Hulk, Ocon, Behrman, Stroll, McLaren, and Haas for -10, or Piastri instead of Norris for 0 negatives? I'm going Piastri, because I really think it's that close between the McLaren guys, and you're saving so much budget, and it's really nice to have, and that will be nice to convert all that budget gains that we've had over the last 2 weeks to bring in the back markers like Bortoleto, Hadjar, Doohan, whoever goes down in price again, and then bring in McLaren or Mercedes for the Bahrain and Saudi Arabia races if I want to go that way. I'm thinking I do. Double constructor is just so powerful. It'll be nice to get on a little bit early. Behrman and Lawson. I'm going to go... Man, Lawson has more... Like, he's been on this track quite a bit. But, like, there's really not that... I mean, they're literally tied on expected points. So, and Behrman... The thing about Lawson is that it really depends on how the game is going to view him. Like, are they viewing him as this is his first race, so he just has to do the 0.4 million points per million price rise kind of thing? Or are they going to treat him as like, no, you need to get 1.2 points per million to rise as well? Because then he would need 11 points to rise, or like at 0.4 million, I think he needs about 4 points to rise a max number in price. But if he's valued at the 1.2 points per million, like the rest of the field is, then he'll need 11 points. So I think I'm going to go with Behrman there. Johan, thanks for tuning in. Matthias says, Norris, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Behrman, Stroll, McLaren, and Haas for -10, or Piastri. Oh, wait, I just said. Wait. Oh, you just asked the question. Sorry. Okay, can keep Williams instead of Haas. Yeah, I'm keeping Williams. So I think we have pretty much the same teams, Matthias. So that's what I would do. Senor Denier. I'm fully budget building with Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Stroll, no negative tempo, carrying over additional free transfer. But man, that FP3 is scary looking for points production. Yeah, but teams are just trying to find stuff because they didn't get a lot of running. So I don't know how, like, the FP3 results are nice for confirmation bias, but I mean, you can just throw them out if they don't agree with the way you're going there. But I could take Lawson instead of Ocon. I still think I like Ocon enough. Like 89% chance of a price rise. He knows how to get it done. So yeah. Colin says most of the rain will come before the race, I believe. Yeah, that's what I've heard. I really, really want to put in Yuki. Yeah, I know. I almost wish like this had happened like the second to last race of the season or something, so you could just take the punt. 2 free transfers gets me Piastri, Williams. A negative 10 gets me Norris, Haas. What would you do? So you're bringing in Williams, Mac Attack. I think I would go. It just depends on what you want to do for Bahrain, but I think I'm still erring towards the Piastri Williams. Fuma86 says, I don't need to take a hit to put in Haas/VCarb instead of Williams, but I kind of want to roll a transfer to next week so I can get Bordello, Hadjar, and Mercedes if DNF goes as planned. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, I think that's it there. It's tempting with potential drive of the day, Colin said, but I don't really know if I would. Wildcard. Oh, yes. Sorry, Stanley. I forgot. So this T2 team here is a disaster for me, right? Let's go build this team calculator. T2 has exactly 100 million. So we'll just say that's where we're at. And this is what the F1 Fantasy Tools is telling us to do. If we want to go by expected points, this would be your top lineup here, Stanley. McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Behrman, Hadjar, Doohan, Bortoleto, but you've got 3 price drops there, so you don't really want that. So let me fix that for you. We'll take Doohan, Bortoleto, and Hadjar out, and then let's see what we got. McLaren, VCarb, Piastri, Gasly, Albon, Ocon, Behrman. Okay, let's take out all of the price fallers for you, Stanley. And we will get there. No Sainz, no Alonso. So this will like really limit your squad. But McLaren, VCarb, Norris, Ocon, Lawson, Behrman, Hulkenberg for 169.2 points and 2.04 price increase. Not too shabby if you ask me. So that's what I would do there. Bamedi currently got Williams, not struggling for budget, but considering moving to Haas. VCarb, thoughts? I've already used 1 free transfer for Behrman or for Albon to Stroll. If you want to roll, I really don't know. Haas and VCarb are certainly more of a guarantee, or they have a better chance of rising than Williams. But Albon, Sainz, like, they only need 13 points to go up 0.6 million. If they don't get a DNF, that should be good enough. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. So I will keep trying to go through these guys, but there's a lot of questions coming in. So thanks for that. I appreciate it. I'm staying with Williams as well. Triple Haas, too risky. Going with McLaren, Williams, Piastri, Ocon, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Behrman, and rolling a transfer. So no to Behrman. Only change. Love it. Well done, Alligator. I wish I had the chance to roll. The thinking was that Antonelli would still be a B-tier asset. So, but he is not. He is an A-tier asset. So that's why I'm getting to Piastri as much. Possible team, McLaren, VCarb, or Haas, Norris, Stroll, Hulkenberg. Yep, don't mind that. I mean, it's in my, like, that's my second lineup there. That would be my secondary lineup over there, Adolfo. F1 Fantasy Pitwall, what is up, sir? I'm between McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Behrman, Hadjar, Doohan, Bortoleto, or McLaren, VCarb, Piastri, Russell, Behrman, Hadjar, Bortoleto tonight. I really don't like having Hadjar, Doohan, and Bortoleto in your squad there, sir, because that's going to be negative 1.8 in budget. So that's really bad. You really don't want to be doing that too much. I'd probably go with the second option there. Austin, I'm really struggling between Haas or Vcarb with Piastri, Stroll, Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg because triple Haas seems too much, but Williams didn't seem amazing on track for FP. Yeah, but neither did Haas. I don't know. We'll see. If you want to go to the guarantee of Haas getting the budget rise, do that. I think Williams will do well enough that I'm willing to take the risk, not take the negative 10. I don't think the negative 10 is worth 0.4 million in potential price rise. So we'll see how that goes. Plus, if you have Williams for next week, like they should, I'm trying to think, they should rise next week as well because Sainz's DNF will fall off. But after that, it's probably when we'll have to think about getting them out as well. But I will hopefully have enough money to get Mercedes in. Should I just stroll in Albon out? If I don't, I can save one free transfer to Bahrain and avoid negative 10 when I'll 99% likely move to McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri. Yeah, I'm kind of getting off of Albon this week because 19 points is just too much for him to go up. So if you go to Stroll, you're probably getting 0.6, barring the DNF, but yeah, especially if it's for free. I don't mind that at all. Sensen says, good morning, people. Austin says that Neo, I've heard from a lot of people to get rid of Albon. What would be better, Piastri to Norris or Williams to Haas? I can only do one of them. Oh, probably Williams to Haas because you're like just banking in more price rises there, Colin. And I really don't know who's going to win this race between Piastri and Norris. Like, it is a total toss-up. I really don't know. I think Antonelli's overrated. Haven't seen much pace in dry conditions, so I think 2 races from McLaren Ferrari will be optimal. Yeah, maybe that's a good point. That's precisely my team. Snap on the T1 teams. The Sims spoke and persuaded me to hold on to Williams and roll a transfer for next race. Love it. Sanjeet says 2x on Piastri or Max. The likely rain makes me want to put it on Max. Wow, you have Piastri and Max in your squad. Yeah, maybe in that case I'd go Max, but McLaren has the best car in dry conditions right now. Byron says, how about Russell, Antonelli, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Behrman with McLaren Haas, trying to maximize budget and points? Yeah, I really like that. Antonelli, maybe not so much. I don't know how he's going to do this weekend, but if that's where your budget is at, I don't mind it at all. Sorry, someone just had a comment. Piastri kept upping Norris's time, just saying, and Norris was going into the gravel on that one turn. Sorry, don't know which, at least twice. Yeah. Was that turn 11 that he was? I can't remember. Jeremy Pyatt says, hey, Norris, Albon, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, McLaren, Haas, 3 swaps to Piastri, Russell, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Hadjar, McLaren, Haas. Like I've been saying, I don't really love having Hadjar in your team for this week, but if this is the first time you're bringing him in and he could rise over the next 3 races, then I guess you're just getting in early and swallowing the 0.6 fall for a potential 1.2 price gain. So yeah, Yamil says, go Piastri, guys. Norris is much more expensive, plus Piastri is the best points and budget move. Well, budget move, I mean, they're both going to go up 0.3, Yamil, but I agree, like, bang for your buck, it's Piastri. Macatech, good luck to everyone and let the F1 fantasy gods bless our teams. Yes, DNF roulette. Let's not miss this, or let's hopefully be okay in that. Austin, thank you, Macatech. Morning from a sunny Sweden morning. Petter, it's sunny now? I'm jealous. AB Mose, I'm going for budget Norris, McLaren, triple Haas, Albon, Hulk. Like that, AB Mose. Macatech, I'm rooting for you, Austin. Russell, Antonelli, or Piastri/Yuki? Piastri/Yuki for me, Byron. My current team is McLaren, Vcarb, Norris, Ocon, Limitless to McLaren, Ferrari. I like it. Where does the free transfer max out at 3? When you roll it, when you don't use one of your 2 free transfers every week, Jamil, you'll roll that one into the next week. So if you only use one of your 2 this week, when the game unlocks for Bahrain, you will have that there. Sammy says, what's up? Nothing much. Just working my way through my coffee and these questions, Sammy. Nice to have you in the chat. Why is Hadjar such a price drop liability? Can you explain that again? Because he DNF'd in Australia, it's carrying over for the next 3 races. So his 3 race rolling average is so low that he's not getting above the points per million threshold. Guavani, hopefully I said that right. So until we get to Bahrain, when the Bahrain race is completed, if he has had a clean race in Japan and Bahrain, that Australia race points will drop off, and then he'll just have 3 positive scores, and he's likely to shoot up in price in the points per million threshold, so he should be good there. I have Piastri Tsunoda. What do you think of using autopilot, especially with rain? I would love it to be like Piastri Russell of autopilot, but I don't hate it. I think it's capped at 3. Anyone feel free? Yeah, no, it does cap at 3. Austin, you are correct. I don't like it, but Stroll over Albon with a -10 or just keep Albon? Oh, man. I really don't like the -10. AB Mose. If you can just take a 0.2 price rise with Albon, I don't think it's going to be worth the -10, sir. Which combo gets more points, Russell Antonelli or Piastri Yuki? Piastri Yuki. Yeah, -10. No, I'm not worth it. Yep. Stroll for budget and rain, or Kimi for an additional points projection but less potential budget increase. I would go Stroll, McGonagall. Should I get rid of Ferrari's construction or risk it for a huge profit? They're not going to get a huge profit. Well, in points, probably over the rest of the field, yes, but not in budget. Colin, or you could do neither. Currently have Aston Martin, who I definitely want to get rid of. Keep going back and forth between Haas and Racing Bulls in my head. It will be my only transfer this week to roll one over. I'd probably go Racing Bulls. Peyton. I think I like them more than Haas. If you have an option at either, that's fine. I'm running McLaren, Williams, Piastri, Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Stroll, going to change to Merck in Bahrain. Yes, I'm hoping the same, Keshlin. Ferrari out or risk for budget? Ferrari out, I believe, because they're just going to fall in price. They're going to score a lot of points this week. It looks like they're doing okay. But, yeah, I don't want to take those hits in the budget area, even though it is only 0.3. But, yeah. Do I go Haas, Williams, Antonelli, Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Stroll for max budget and 29.7 in the bank to use Wildcard on Bahrain? I would just go Piastri because Antonelli and Piastri are in the same price tier. So Piastri is going to score way more points than Antonelli bar DNF. So that's where I would go with that. Austin says, where do you guys find the simulators? I know those come out after FP, but is it on F1 Fantasy Tools website or somewhere else? It's actually, so F1 Fantasy Tools gives us the F1 Fantasy points, Austin. But if you go to Formula1.com, usually after the Friday practice sessions, they do the practice debrief by Lawrence Barreto, and they give us some data. Now, these are just based on FP1 and the very limited FP2 runnings. So that's where we're at with these kind of graphs. So we didn't get a lot of clean running, but that's where we're at with that. There. I have Lawson in my team now for some reason. Did I do something stupid? No, I don't think it's... Lawson can get 11 points and he can get a price rise, so I don't think it's stupid. Nigel the Crab says, morning. What is up, sir? I am ready. You got any F1 fancy questions? Drop them in the chat as we are nearly 30 minutes to the Japanese Grand Prix deadline. There you go. Boom. Sachin says, 4 points, I'm guessing V-Carb should be better than Haas. Both should have budget gains anyway. Yeah, exactly. That's why I'm kind of choosing V-Carb over Haas if I can. Killer Merch says, is -10 worth it to get rid of Hadjar if I've held him for the last 3 races? Oof, man, that is rough. I guess it would depend on who you're moving him to. If you're moving him to a Behrman, then yes. If you're moving him to an Albon, then probably not, because I think Albon's going to start going down in the next couple of races. Nigel the Crab says, I have V-Carb, but wonder if I should triple up Haas instead due to rain concerns. I don't know. I think I'm going to kind of spread the risk this weekend, which probably means that I will get hit by some risk a little bit more. But The problem with going triple Haas is one DNF is a 40-point hit. Like, that sucks. So, but I am going double Haas with Behrman and Ocon, so what can I really say here? I don't know. But yeah, that's where I'm at, Nigel. So I'm going there, and while I am here, it's been about 10 minutes since I did this, but I am locking in my team. So Antonelli to Piastri, Albon to Behrman, Piastri gets the 2 times. We're sticking with Williams. We're confirming the changes. We are locked and loaded. Let's do it. That is the T1 team. Will you take out Williams for Haas racing builds for a free transfer? Yes, I would if I could, but I just locked in my team. So I'm currently on 478 points, 17.5K in the world. Dang, Nigel, you're crushing it, my man. Great job. Yeah, you must have crushed it in Australia and then not use Limitless in China, because I think a lot of us were going for that. For Ferrari, if we were on Limitless there. Maverick says, Antonelli, Behrman, Hulk, Ocon, Hadjar, McLaren, Mercedes with 0.6 in the bank. Thinking I'd just leave it this week. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, McLaren and Mercedes look like two of the stronger constructors this weekend. I don't really love having Hadjar, and Antonelli may not score a lot of points there, Maverick, but it is what it is. It's all good. So now I got to go over here with this T3 squad. Only my second season too. Okay, now we're just bragging here, Nigel. Come on. But yeah, great job. That's awesome. 17.5K in the world after two races? Yeah, 2 races. That is fantastic. On to bigger and better things. You have to stick around for the entire season and let me know how your journey is going. But yeah, we got 116 viewers right now, 38 likes. Do we want to bump up that like counter a tiny bit? And yeah, if you're not subscribed to the channel, as you can see, there's over 2,500 of you that are tuning in or watching some of my videos all the time. So if you're not, just hit that subscribe button. I think I've even got this little promo down here that I can do. There we go, just promo. And yeah, that's where we're at. So I'm moving over here to my T3 team right now. So let's go build this budget. Petter says, I'm trusting the process of my gut, going Piastri, McLaren, and Williams with the other budget gainers set me up for McLaren, Piastri, Mercedes setup in Bahrain. Yeah, that's what I'm going with, Petter, as well. How come Williams and not Haas? Because I was talking about this earlier, Gort. With the way my team is constructed and what I'm trying to get to in Bahrain, I'd have to take a negative 10 to kind of get Haas in this week in my T1 team. And then it would cost me a negative 20 to get to that Mercedes build the following week. So I'm kind of just like long-term planning a little bit here and just hoping that Piastri like pulls it out and goes back to back. Nigel Krabs says, happy to be here. Williams or Haas? If it's for a free transfer, Haas. I have the same team as you, but thinking Antonelli to Piastri and Williams to VCarb, keeping Albon. How will this work out? I think that will be okay. I got Albon out because 19 points seems a little bit too high for me to get his max price rise for this week, whereas Williams only needs 13 points. So that's where I went. That's why I went Albon to Behrman and Antonelli up to Piastri. So that's kind of my thinking there. Sammy says, juggling F1 Fantasy and EPL and AFL is crazy. Thanks you for guiding me. Yeah, I'm also in the same boat with you, Sammy. I've got F1 Fantasy going on right now. I activated my Wildcard in FPL this week, so that's been kind of crazy. It's fantasy baseball season as well. For us stateside sports junkies as well. So just, yeah, a lot of stuff going on. But I'm trying to think if there's anything else. No, not yet, but yes. Do you think Belgium could be good for Limitless? It says lower DNF chance than Miami, in my opinion. Yes, I think it's fine to play your Limitless in Belgium. And I'm not saying that I won't be doing that. But the earlier in the season you use it, the more of like a price delta. I'm not sure if that's the right terminology, but people will be less likely to have multiple of your Limitless assets in their team the earlier in the season you play it. So that's why it's kind of okay to get to where we're at, or to play it earlier in the season, because then you're like kind of gaining more over the field. But that doesn't mean that it's the best point scoring time to play it, because a couple of seasons ago it was in Monza, and that was not a sprint weekend. So that was where we were at there. Okay, guys. That was fun. Well, it's not was fun. It still is fun. But I'm trying to do the whole little Twitter twatter kind of stuff here real quick. If anyone is playing F1 Predict, I actually have a league for that as well. And but yeah, we'll see how it goes. Slightly concerning that when I open up the F1 app, it still has my T1 team as the other team. So I'll just do it this way. All right, here we go. We got some more questions here. Plan to keep Williams so I can save 3 transfers for next week. I like that. Garg, love that because that's what I did. Glenn, nice. I'm thinking of using my Limitless in Miami like last year. Yeah, I think it'll be fine with the sprint race. It should be a good, we'll have to keep an eye on the weather, but that's it. Hakon Magnussen says Piastri, Albon, Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Haas, and McLaren, 3 free transfers next week versus Norris, Stroll, Ocon, Behrman, Haas, and McLaren. I think I like the... Maybe the -10 Hakon. Yeah. Although both options are pretty good. Stanley says, I will use Wildcard, 100.6. Some advice. Good luck to all the soldiers here. Thanks for the great stream. You're welcome. Formula Bean 10. Let's go here. I mean, we can just manually change this for you here, Stanley. So 100.6 with the wild card. It's saying that the best point scoring team, I would probably go with this option 3 down here. McLaren, V-Carb, Norris, Ocon, Lawson, Behrman, Hulkenberg. That would be it. McGonigal says, let's get to 70 likes. That would be fantastic. Yeah, that'd probably be a new record for a live stream. So that would be great. But yes, listen to McGonigal. Very smart person. Limitless suggestion. What team? Off the top of my head, Daw12, it would be McLaren. Then McLaren, Norris, Piastri, Russell, then Verstappen, Leclerc, and then Ferrari or Mercedes. It would kind of come down to here. But I can see what F1 Fancy Tools would have you do. And we'll see how close I came to being in agreement with these smart folks over at F1 Fancy Tools. Let's play Limitless instead. What do they want? McLaren, Ferrari, Norris, Piastri, Russell, Leclerc, Verstappen. Boom! Full marks for me. Not too bad. Casper says, problem is Miami is before Saudi. You could get some DNF in your team and not make sense to go Limitless before transfer them out. Yeah, I'm actually going to do a video on that over the next couple of weeks. Maybe, I can't tell if it's more handy to do it before Bahrain or for Saudi Arabia. Like future planning, that kind of thing. So that'll be a video that comes out over the next couple of weeks, guys. So make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel. If I go triple Haas, is it worth with no negative? I guess I don't hate that, because you're probably still gonna, barring a double DNF from Haas, you are going to be able to price rise and then still not pick up any of those negative points. So don't mind that at all, actually, Sindra. How many points does Yuki need to rise, and is it worth it to go Albon, Williams to Yuki V-Carb? I think Yuki needs 21 points to rise if he's at the Japanese Grand Prix level, or like 8 points to rise if he's at first race level. So I think I go Yuki V-Carb. Too early for these decisions. Too early in the morning for decisions right now, or about Limitless in Miami and stuff. Kieran says, thinking of going Russell ×2, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Bortoleto, McLaren, Mercedes. What do you think for this for budget and points? I don't like it for budget because you got Bortoleto in there. For points, it's pretty good. How many points does Yuki need to rise, and is it worth it? Oh, there we go. Yep, Alex, yep, answered that question. But Kieran, if you could get Bortoleto out, I would do that. But you've got McLaren and Mercedes in there, so that's not bad either. So not too shabby at all. Let's see here, guys. Let's see. I can't even remember the last time that I tweeted out my lineup because it was a minute ago. So I got to find that tweet. But if you want to get your questions answered, load up the chat and I will keep going for the next 20 minutes. Here we go. I should really just save this as my template. Copy. And then I wouldn't have to go through my Twitter all the time to find it. Trusting Williams for the max price rise. Let's go. What are they calling themselves? What are the Williams guys calling them? Carbano? Is that what they're calling? Carbano? I think that's what they're calling themselves, right? Alrighty, so that is going to be that. The lineup is locked for the Japanese. Trusting Williams for the max price rise. Let's go, Carbano. Do like everyone see all the post. Alrighty. Where are we at? Where are we at? No questions, huh? Okay. Oh wait. There we go. Boom. Let's all vote Yuki for driver of the day on Sunday, please. I don't know. The bots will probably still vote for Antonelli. Russ is so consistent. World Drivers Champion 2026. Yeah, he really is like starting to become one of my favorite drivers on the grid. So that is where I am at. F1 or Formula Fantasy Hub Rob has gone triple Haas. Adam from FanApp Fantasy has gone triple Haas as well. Look at this. Triple Haas. God, so much pain coming our way in F1 Fantasy. So, there we go. Oh, Jackson, what changes have I decided on? Can we see your final team? Yes, you can. This is my final team right here, sir. Piastri, Behrman, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Ocon with McLaren and Williams. My reasoning is I had Albon and I had Antonelli beforehand. Antonelli is now an A-tier asset, so he is rising at the same price as Piastri. I believe Piastri is going to score a ton more points than Antonelli this weekend and probably for the remainder of the season. So that's where I'm at with that. Behrman, far more likely to get a max price rise than Albon. And I just don't think Williams are that big of a downgrade versus Haas. Haas and VCarb are more likely to rise in price, according to F1 Fantasy Tools. I still think they're going to score enough points to get the 0.6 price increase. They're going to score more points than at least Haas, maybe VCarb as well. And I didn't want to take a -10 because I'm more than likely going to have to take a -10 in Bahrain now, if everything goes according to plan, to get my ideal team for Bahrain. So those were, that's my thinking. Casper says, I'm so tempted to do Sonoda, VCarb for Albon, Williams. Could just keep my current lineup or swap Albon for Stroll. It is tempting. It is tempting. I don't mind it at all if you just want to take a punt, see if Yuki just gets it in the back. I mean, he could get driver of the day, which could be really nice. Sai says, my team, Mercedes, Red Bull, Russell, Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Stroll. I have 2 free transfers. What should I change? I don't know. There's not a ton. There's not a lot bad with that team, Sai. Might not be like the highest budget building team or the highest point scoring team. No McLaren is a little scary. So if you could go from Russell to Piastri, I would love that in one move. That would probably be my advice. Paolo, I'm going to guess, McLaren, Williams, and Piastri, Hulkenberg, Ocon, Hadjar, Behrman, and 2 transfers. Should I change anything like Williams to Haas or Hadjar plus Stroll? I would try to get Hadjar at your team, I think. He's going to fall 0.6 million. Taking -10 for Norris, Behrman, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Ocon, McLaren, VCarb. I didn't do it, but I don't mind it if you are more kind of hits. You're okay with more hits. That's fine by me. Because Norris could easily come away with fastest lap driver of the day and outscore Piastri by about 20 points. How do you feel about Piastri, Russell, Ocon, Behrman, Hulk with Mercedes? RB saving my wild card for next race. That is a big old budget you got there. How did you even afford this team? Yes, I like it. What's your team one? Yeah, this is my T1 team on the screen here, everybody. So that's my same team. Haas or VCarb? I think VCarb might get good points due to pit stops and a rise in budget. Yep, I think I'd go VCarb over Haas if that's your only decision, Eric. Austin says, it feels weird to not make any transfers all this week since I have Piastri, Behrman, Ocon, Stroll, Hulkenberg with McLaren, Sainz, Williams. Guys, should I do anything differently? I mean, I would say no because I have that exact same team, Austin. So, yeah, you just have a very good team already. So, yeah, you can just roll for next week. Do you think I go Piastri, Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Stroll with McLaren, Williams, or Piastri, Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Tsunoda with McLaren / Haas? I don't mind the second team, Hater. That's pretty nice. 51 likes. Let's get 51 likes. Look at that. Thank you, McGonigal, my hype person. I appreciate that. Do you get a roll when using wildcard? You do not get a roll when you're using your wildcard AB modes because I used my wildcard in China and I came out with 2 free transfers on the other side. Isn't it better to hold Hadjar? I'm already on -0.6 with him, hoping that he will increase in price. If I keep Hadjar, I can do Williams to Mercedes and Hulkenberg to Bortoleto next week. But he's going to go down another, I guess, Paolo, if this is your first week, well, this is your second week with Hadjar, right? So this will be 1.2 million you'll have lost with him as an asset. He's not going to increase in price this week. He's going to go down another 0.6 because he still has the Australia DNF. So even if he rises the next 3 weeks, you've only gained 0.6 million with him over the course of 5 weeks, where you could be gaining budget with other drivers over that time. I think Hadjar is a great asset to bring in for Bahrain, along with Bortoleto, with Doohan, with Sainz, if they all have a clean weekend. So that's where I'm at with that. Casper says, Hadjar will not increase in price. Yes, agreed. Agreed with that. So let's see here. This has been very, very fun. A very enjoyable way to start a Saturday morning, everyone. I really appreciate you guys joining me and just kind of hanging out and stuff. It's been quite fun. I feel like the chat is taking a little bit of time to upload. So if you guys are asking questions and I'm not seeing them, I'm sorry. Not sure if my chat is a little bit slow or not. Christian Horner just got grilled on the pre-quali show. Recommend everyone looks it up at some point. Oh, I'm sure if it was that good, it's going to be making the rounds on Twitter. I'm going for a budget team till Limitless in Miami. I like that. Stroll plus Behrman or Ocon plus Hulkenberg. Ocon plus Behrman, Avencry, because I think I maybe like that combo a little bit better. That is tough though. I need to fix my T3 squad here, guys. Let's see here. Yamil says Hadjar's going to hit you with a -6. If you go Merc, you're going more expensive, so not saving the max budget plus holding a guaranteed McLaren and Williams / Haas / VCarb. Yep, great point by Emil. So this team is in a pretty good spot right now. Not entirely sure what to do with the T3 squad. Albon to Behrman and Piastri to Norris. I don't know. Can't tell. Albon to Behrman and Stroll to Tsunoda with triple Haas, huh? I don't hate that. Let's shake things up a little bit. I'll take a punt on Yuki in my T3 squad. See if we can get lucky there with some Behrman love. Let's see. Okay. Is there any benefit to keeping Piastri rather than switching to Norris? Just you'll have more budget in your team to kind of play with at the next race hack on, because if you need budget to like get up from, I don't know, say you're trying to get from a Tsunoda to a Russell, but you already have Norris, like you're going to have to downgrade Norris next week anyway if you want to make any bigger moves in your team. So he's kind of like a cash cow, but if you can just save the cash cow and just go with Piastri, if that makes any sense, like that's where I would be at. 10 minutes to go, guys. Your lineup or take -10 and have Lando instead of Piastri and Haas instead of Williams. I was on the fence about that, BO. I'm saving it because next week I'm planning to take a -10. So I didn't want to, if I took a -10 this week, I was likely going to have to take a -20 the following week. And that's 30 points compared to 10. So I just did that. And I was like, okay, I'll just take the -10 in Bahrain. Paper cranes. I have the exact same team as your T1 and look to do the same transfer, but that leaves me 4.2 million. Is it worth to switch Piastri for either Ferrari drivers or Behrman to Lawson? Probably not, Paper cranes, just because Ferrari driver is going to fall, and we don't really know how Lawson's like his price rise is being calculated. We don't know like with 100% certainty how that's being done. So I think I would just stick with what you got. McGonigal went Haas due to rain for safe for 0.6, but Racing Bulls look like the move with pit stop points in the future. Yeah, probably. Yes, hack on budget. Norris is more expensive, but plus Piastri making it harder to afford a consistent McLaren construction for the following weeks. Morning, says Sebastiano. With one transfer, Piastri, Behrman, Ocon, Hulkenberg, Stroll with McLaren, Haas. Should I save one transfer for next GP or should I upgrade Haas? I have 8.3 million in the bank. I think you can just roll that, Sebastiano. No problems there. With Piastri, you can possibly do McLaren, Mercedes, Piastri, Russell, and that will be powerful. Good luck, everyone. Shall we get another chaotic race? I mean, China, the Grand Prix was pretty boring. Chaos happened after the race. So, yeah, we'll see. Suzuka is a fun track, though. Paolo says, thanks for the tips, guys. My first episode, I was only playing FPL tonight. Oh, yeah, FPL. FPL seems so simple compared to F1 Fantasy sometimes. But do you think I go, Toby says, do you think I go Piastri, Ocon, Behrman, Hulkenberg, Stroll, McLaren, Williams, or Antonelli, Tsunoda? Oh, man. That's tricky. I think I'm going to the first team there. Emil says, yeah, Emil agrees. I'm the only one who doesn't see the new photos on Fantasy for Yuki and Lawson. Nope. As you can see right here, the big APO, no photo. They have not updated their media cache. I ate -20 to make 4 swaps in order budget build. Is that worth? Went with Piastri, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Behrman, Ocon, and McLaren. I like it. If you're set in your ways, do the thing. Maybe you could have used a wild card, but maybe you don't have a wild card yet. So there is that also. Let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to lock in this T3 team. I'm going to have a little fun with Tsunoda. Although Tsunoda is here on the screen, but he's not on the driver card. That's interesting. Oh, well. But yeah, triple Haas on this team. So that will be interesting there. Go Piastri. And then this team is just a disaster. I'm going to have to wild card out this team. I'm backing my boy Isaac to at least 4 goals this weekend. Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah, I need to figure out my cap. Just up my stream. Hope it's been a good one, you, and good luck this weekend. Good luck, Rob. I saw that you are going with triple Haas. I just locked that in for my T3 team. Couldn't do it with my T1 team, but yeah, Thanks, Rob. Yeah, I saw your stream a little bit earlier before I was prepping for mine. It was looking pretty good. I loved your guest speaker that you had there. Although he was, he could have loosened up a little bit. He was a little bit stiff. Yamil says, good luck to everyone. Good luck to everyone. May the odds be in your favor. Hunger Games reference. Would you go Williams to VCARB or Haas, or should I just save the transfer? I would just save the transfer. LBJ, assuming you are not the king, LeBron James, but yes. But if you are, welcome to F1 Fantasy Pole Position. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for investing in Liverpool, unlike FSG. So appreciate that. What is the rain situation? Any predictions? It sounds like it's going to come before the race, but it's really hard to not know. Nobody is worried about Williams' performance. Sainz did not look solid in FP. Yeah, but he did get a podium here last year in a Ferrari. We'll just ignore that part. So that is where, I'm just trusting Williams a little bit. They seem fine. If they both get into Q2 and then they both have an okay race, 13 points is more than manageable. It should be fine. Williams to VCARB or Haas is not more valuable than saving it. If you had another team, then maybe, but save. Yeah, I think I agree with you, Yamil. Okay. So this is what I want to do here. Get Antonelli out. Let's bring in I want some exposure to the Racing Bulls. Albon and Sainz are clean racers. I'm confident in Williams. Yamil, we are simpatico this morning, sir. Or ma'am, sorry. But great minds, hopefully. 23.6 million left here. Let's see. I mean, if I go with Lando, that leaves me with 17, and I can bring in Stroll and Nico, and that gets me a pretty bang-up squad there. Add the DRS boost. Norris, Stroll. Continue. I'm going to activate the wild card on this team. And we are good to go there, folks. So I've kind of covered all the bases here with my T1, T2, T3 teams. We are at 95 viewers, 55 likes. So we are over the threshold of 50%. So that is great, guys. If you haven't liked it and I have answered your comment, please drop a like. That would be great. You don't even have to subscribe. Just drop that like. Just a little thumbs up. You can do it there. Little animation there. But let's see here. Tiers. Debated using no negative besides for future races like Brazil. Are people using it because of the rain on Sunday? I think so. Plus, Suzuka is a little bit of a tricky track, so there might be some DNFs. And yeah, that's kind of where we are at. But I think I'm going to keep it in my back pocket. Simpatico, great minds think alike. Haha. So yeah, on my T1, my T2, and my T3 teams, I have pretty much covered off every single possibility that I was thinking of this weekend. Piastri and Williams, Piastri and Haas, Norris and Racing Bulls. So something will definitely go wrong. There's no way that this is all going to go swimmingly correct. But we are 2 minutes remaining in until the deadline. Yeah, that's true, Emil. I'm a huge Sainz fan. One of my teams is literally Smooth Operator. I thank you. So I shall have more faith. Thanks for calming my nerves, gentlemen. Yeah. Yep. That is where we're at. And yeah, it's very, very exciting. I am very much ready for this. I should probably start to get my qualifying stream set up here, huh? Oh, I got some Twitter questions. Stroll, hurry. Smooth operator. So, here we go. Good luck to Haas, McLaren, Stroll, and Hulk. We have the same T1 and T2 teams. I have the same Team 1 for all my 3 teams. The Piastri ship. Good. Amazing. What were your 2 transfers in your T1 team? I took Albon out for Behrman, and I moved Antonelli up to Piastri. Ryan. Those are my 2 moves. But we are 1 minute remaining until the deadline. Yep. Albon to Behrman. that is where it is at, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed the stream. I hope you guys are having a great time. We're at 59 likes. Does anyone want to be the 60th like? That would be great. Would really appreciate that. Just like a nice even number. The big Apo is paying attention. I like it. Yeah, but those are my two moves right there. Albon to Behrman and Antonelli to Piastri. But yeah, this is it. For a deadline stream, that was pretty calm. At least on my end. Hopefully it was for you guys as well. Hopefully I've answered all your questions. Hopefully I want all 20 drivers to finish the race. And I want us all to get mucho points and mucho budget and everything, and doing all the fun stuff. That's a good swap. Thanks, Ewan. We have the same team again, locked in. 60th here, 70. McGonigal, awesome stream. Thank you. McGonigal, are you my mom? Are you just like hyping up the chat for me? I appreciate it. So, but yes, hope everyone has good luck. Yeah, we are good. Guys, we are done. That is it. Bingo bango. I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go enjoy some qualifying. I'm going to start making some breakfast because I hope it didn't come out over the stream, but my stomach has been rumbling quite a lot. So thank you to McGonigal. You have been absolutely fantastic. I appreciate everybody watching and listening. Hope you guys have a great weekend. I will be back tomorrow, 1 hour after the Grand Prix, to talk about the madness that is the Japanese Grand Prix. But once again, thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, and I will talk to you next time.